Did you know some people get uncomfortable when you mention poo-poo or pee-pee or private parts? Oh, sorry, I just gave away every single joke in Scary Movie 2. And I know Seltzer and Freeberg technically weren't involved with the sequel, but I'm just gonna call it, this is the first movie. You know, that collection of films that everybody says is some of the worst parodies ever made? It checks almost all the boxes that are usually associated with them. And the funny thing is, I didn't even get that much into the original Scary Movie, but it had enough laughs. I guess I can't say I regretted seeing it, I just didn't think the whole thing quite came together or worked, but I saw what it was trying to do. This is just trying to be a sequel made a year later to cash in on the first one, and it is one of the most desperate 2001 comedies I've ever seen. I was actually looking forward to it when it came out because, yeah, okay, I didn't get that much into the first one, but I really hated that remake of The Haunting and this influx of bad CG ghost movies we were getting, and I just wanted to see them ripped apart with a clever meanness, and okay, if you work in a toilet joke or a boob joke or something every once in a while, that's fine. But when every single one of my friends, some who liked scary movies, some who didn't like scary movies, some who thought it was okay, went and saw this movie and came back and said, this is absolute shit, I kept my distance. I have never seen this movie before today, and I'll tell you right now, I have never checked the time code so often and saw it go so slowly. The setup, again like the previous film, is not a bad one. This time our main characters are going to stay in a haunted house, so this scientist, played by Tim Curry, can study them for an experiment on fear, as well as study them for other reasons. The house, of course, is actually haunted, and we just wait for ghosts from other movies, or ghosts very similar to other movies, to show up and do the thing that they did in those other movies, but do it in a supposedly funny way. Oh, and a bunch of random shit like Charlie's Angels, Hannibal, and a lot of TV shows and commercials you wouldn't remember past 2001 are in this too. Alright, so with a lot of bad comedies, usually the way I rate it is how often I'm laughing or how many jokes I'm laughing at. So I'll say like, maybe every 20 minutes I'll laugh or every third joke I'll laugh. I think it's easier just to name every single time I actually laughed. And I haven't laughed hard, just had a little bit of a chuckle. One is when they're spoofing The Exorcist and Veronica Cartwright plays the mother. Honestly, it's just kind of cool to see Veronica Cartwright in something again. And a room full of rich white people sing Shake That Ass on the piano. That was a little funny. I like in the same parody, James Woods, as one of the exorcists, walks in, sees the girl spin her head, and says, "Fuck this." And that's good. I like when two of the characters are trapped in a freezer, so one tries to put a whole bunch of stuff together around whatever she can find and makes a bulldozer. That's decent. Sometimes Tim Curry says a funny line. Like, the line itself isn't funny, but the way he says it is funny because he's Tim Curry and that's what he does and he's really good at it. And yeah, I think that's it. Top of my head, I cannot think of anything else that got a laugh out of me in this, and I just saw it! It's kind of amazing how little sense these jokes make, but they're made just so they can get a reference to taking a shit or taking a piss, or tatas or dickies or D's nuts. For example, the main character, again played by Anna Faris, gets in a fight with a cat. I don't even know what this is satirizing, but okay, whatever. They get in a fight because she used his litter box, and he gets mad, and they fight. Do you follow what's supposed to be funny about that? There's a character played by Chris Elliott who has a deformed hand, and everybody doesn't want to eat anything made by him because his deformed hand is really gross. That is literally the only bit they do with this character, and they do it for a long time. The whole thing is how much can his hand touch, and then he not only touches his hand on it, but he also starts making love to it, and yeah, every joke is like that. And the funny thing is, okay, I wasn't a big fan of Doofy, but I at least get the idea of it, where the origin of the joke is coming from. They're mocking Dewey, that they think Dewey is stupid, and all of us understand that because the character is stupid. I thought it kind of went a lame direction because the character was supposed to be stupid, and the movie was acting like he wasn't supposed to be stupid. I don't know, it's a thing, but I get where it's coming from. What is supposed to be mocked here? Mr. Dudley, the caretaker from the Haunting remake, was really a crowd that remembers that character, let alone wants to see him taken down? Is it mocking people with birth defects? Yeah, they've really had the cozy life. Let's go ahead and throw a few punches their way. Even something like Handyman from In Living Color, yes, is very insulting, but you can still go off of what it's trying to mock. It's trying to mock PC culture and how they try to bring in almost everybody to a point where it wouldn't even make sense. And yeah, that kind of has its own barrel of problems, but again, I can see the origin of the joke. What is the origin of this joke? Why just at a very basic level is this supposed to be funny? At least enough to dedicate, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes of material to them? Like I mentioned before, there's references to all sorts of things that were really popular that one year, and it seems like they were just put in there so they can put it in the trailer and see, ooh, we're hip, we're on top of things. Like, there's an old, I think, Nike commercial where they kind of made music dribbling this ball, and it was cool, but nobody remembers it now, so in the movie, when a basketball is just bouncing down the stairs, which again, I don't even know what film that's supposed to be referencing, they just take it and do the same thing, and the scene is over, and nothing happens. It doesn't build to anything. They make references to Survivor. The parrot out of nowhere just says, somebody's the weakest link, goodbye. Yeah, you can catch on very quickly. It's trying to make references without actually doing anything with them. It doesn't really parody it. It just sort of shows it knows what it is. I think this film strangely pissed me off more than the other movies. And I think part of that is, there's a lot of funny people here. There's a cast from the original, like Anna Faris, Marlon Wayans, Shawn Wayans, Regina Hall, all those people. There's a lot of funny people added to the cast, like Tim Curry and David Cross and Christopher Masterson and James Woods and Andy Richter. We've seen these people funny in so many things, but they just don't get any laughs. They are absolutely wasted. In the movies, every once in a while you might recognize someone that's like, oh, that's usually a funny person. It's a shame they're not funny here. I mean, this is just filled with great talent, and they couldn't figure out how to utilize them. This movie has way too many writers for this shitty a script. It looks and feels like it was written in a day by one person and also shot in a day by one person. All these writers didn't do shit. They're just using it as a tax dodge. The two things I'll give it a touch credit for that separates it a little bit from a movie, and even then, it's not by much, and man, what a high bar, is that they do try to have a main focus, at least. In something like Disaster Movie, they didn't focus on disaster movies that much, but here, it isn't just scary movies, it's supernatural, ghostly scary movies, which there were a lot of at the time, and man, what a missed opportunity. All these people practically die in the first film, yet they never acknowledge them being ghosts in this, like they're just kind of back. They'll even do a funny reason why, they're just there. Second is, I will give it credit, there are one or two times they are again trying to push the envelope. Like, yeah, it didn't come close to laughing when Anna Faris is looking at all the naked statues at this mansion, and then the knocker is literally just a huge pair of testicles. Okay, maybe that is the one other moment I kind of chuckled at. I don't remember the movies ever really trying to push the envelope or have any kind of shock value, or if it was trying to, it didn't do it very well. A lot of times I'll be a little bit more lenient to a comedy when it's not getting a ton of laughs, as I'll say. They weren't painful jokes, they didn't hurt me to watch. This one did. Every single one that would pop up, it would just be so second grade and so not clever or creative or new, it just brought nothing. And yet it was acting like, well, 7 writers worked on it. Half the movie is just trying to do what the first one did again. I think the whole thing with the guy's deformed hand, like what they were going for is, they weren't trying to really say anything about the movie that they were mocking, they were just trying to have another doofy character, except try to go further with it. Again, missing what the idea behind that character was supposed to be. There's another scene where someone splooges so much, it plasters somebody to the wall. Yeah, we saw that. Even people who like that scene won't laugh at this scene because it's just the same thing, nothing really that different is done. It's rare a movie gets me this angry, and again, I can't even acknowledge it's like the worst one out there. I mean, objectively, something like Epic Movie or Disaster Movie is worse, but it is just so weird seeing talented people come off of a big hit film that did have some really funny moments, not only reflect none of that, but do the exact opposite and be annoying as hell. I don't know, maybe it has its fan base, but I am definitely not among them. I just could not stand every moment of this. And the very few times I did get a laugh, it wasn't worth it. They were not funny enough to say, yeah, I'm glad I sat through all of these awful, terrible moments for that. If it's your thing, cool, it's not mine. And quite frankly, I'd much rather put my ear next to a glory hole than sit through any of this again.